Welcome to Astrorisa Moon Talk Radio. It is January 10th. We have 5 more days before the Cancer full moon that's coming up, and we're going to come back again and we're going to talk about that full moon that is coming up. But today, we're going to talk about the first steps towards a successful Orisha centered relationship. So we're moving into that full moon in Cancer, Cancer ruled by the energies of Yamaja. So we're talking about family, relationships, marriage, that type of thing. And so before we even go into the full moon, let's talk about one of the elements of the Cancerian Yamaja energy, and that is relationships. But how can we have a successful relationship, and especially I'm speaking to you, those that are in the Orisha community, especially the ones who are new into the Orisha community and Orisha awareness. How can we do that? Well, the first thing is you want to get what we call a relationship reading. Now, relationship reading is a little bit different than what we used to do historically. Historically, you would have a marriage reading, but that now will be the second reading that you would get. Reason being is because times have changed. People date before they get married. So before you even get into the marriage, you want to know, should I even be involved with this person in a committed relationship? Now, how do you do that? Well, if you are involved in the Orisha community and more so in the Orisha system, which then means that you would have your ancestor shrine already set up. You would have already learned how to throw your obi for your yes and your no answers. This is your first point of reference in anything and everything is you consult with your ancestors. You have the ability to do that because those are your people. So you contact them, you sit down and you throw your obi. You're asking, is this person someone I should even be involved with? Why do we ask the ancestors this question? Well, we ask them that because they have your best interest and your personal interest at heart. And they know the history of this person that you're inquiring about. And they've already been in consultation with their people. The other thing is that we are returned ancestors. So that means that we have a history. And that history involves many things. It can involve the fact that maybe you all were involved with each other previously. Maybe you did something to him or he did something to you. That's if we're looking at it from a no answer perspective. And this is not the lifetime for you to resolve that. Maybe your great grands will resolve that issue. Maybe you'll come back as your great grands and you can resolve whatever that is. But this is not the time to do it. That is just, that this time frame is just not it for you. So that could be a reason why you get a no. Or you can get a no because we all have ancestral challenges. I'll say it that way. And so the more archaic way of saying it, people will say, "Oh, there's an ancestral curse." There's also the family illnesses, all those different things, mental illness, things of that nature. Many times you do a consultation, you want to know something about that family. Are they known to have family illness? Is that something that you're even supposed to be involved in helping in this lifetime? So there's many, many reasons why the ancestors would say no. Many times people feel like, oh, my ancestors do not like this person. That's why they said no. That may not be it at all. It could be something else, a lot more deeper than you can even imagine. Guy might be a great person, but you down the road in your relationship, something you both will meet is not beneficial to you, and you would not have met that incident if you had not been with that woman or man. So it just, there's a gamut of it. It's not for us to try to figure out what that no is. If it's a no, then it's a no. However, if they tell you yes, this is someone that you can be involved with, then the next thing you want to do is follow what we call respect and obedience. And when I say respect and obedience, I'm referring to you respecting and obeying the guidance that your ancestors have given you. And or for some people who are more involved, they even ask their Orisha as well after they ask their ancestors. Okay, but you want to also follow respecting the and being obedient to the message that was given to you. You've taken their time to even ask their intake on it. So from that point, be respectful of the answer that was given to you and be obedient so that you do not run into some murky things later on. Once you've gotten that yes, then your next step is to receive a relationship reading number two. This relationship reading number two is now where you go before the Babalawo, you sit on the mat and you get that consultation. And the reason why you go before the Oracle of Oromila, or some say or Ifa, is because relationships, one, we hope will lead to marriage. And that means then that you are dealing with your personal destiny, a larger aspect of your personal destiny. And you want to make sure that the path that you're walking will carry you to a beneficial destination while you're doing this. So when you receive the mandates and the prescriptions for your relationship through that reading, again, you move right back towards the topic of being respectful and obedient. You want to take seriously those mandates and that given advice. It is very helpful for you to do this. And while you're sitting on the mat, it's also very important that you ask as many questions at that time while you're receiving your consultation so that you walk away very clear as to what it is you are supposed to be doing. Now, it's not recommended that both parties sit on the mat together because Orunmila may need to speak to you about something very private. Um, But the aspect of the reading that speaks to both of you should be shared and discussed together. Now, some couples find it's helpful for both to get individual readings, but separately. That way, both are given the opportunity to receive personal insight that's only for them. And then after that, they come together and they share the information that they were given as to what they need to do to have a successful relationship moving forward. A good point to remember regarding a relationship reading is don't expect to receive a message that you're going to have violins and harps playing in the background of your relationship because everyone knows relationships need work. And this is the starting point or the preemptive to a marriage. So that means then that there's a lot of work that you have to do yourself personally and together to make things productive and successful. And if you can master these things somewhat successfully, and you're definitely ready to move forward into a marriage, then you would consult again through Ifa for your marriage reading. And some would go even to the Orisha first and get a Marine de Lagoon reading before they even get the Ifa reading. So it's really important that you get your consultation. You always start first with your ancestors. That's the cleanup. That lets you know if you're even wasting your time. And then you move forward step by step. So, to have a successful Orisha centered relationship, you always follow the rule of respect and obedience. Respect what is said and obey the mandate. And that falls into even something as simple as if the mandate says that before you leave the house, even before you go to sleep, maybe if you've had an argument, that you all clear the air. If that's your mandate, though that seems very simplistic, that is a key foundation to you having that relationship to be successful, because that means then that you all need to communicate and clear the air, because somebody holds a lot of grudges. Maybe both of you, or maybe one of you, or one holds grudges and the other one has all these kinds of strange thoughts start swirling through their head, and they're making up things and they're adding additional information to what you really meant, and that is what can break up the relationship. So if you follow that simple rule that's given to you, that you do not go to sleep angry or you don't leave the house angry, you'll understand the reasoning behind it the more you follow those mandates. Well, that's all for our Astrorisa Moon Talk with Astrorisa Moon Talk Radio today. Again, getting ready to move into the full moon in Cancer coming up to January the 15th. And so we wanted to just talk about some of the things that Yemaja and Cancer covers, and that is relationships, marriage, and commitment. So now you have a very short version of how to begin to have that successful relationship. So until next time, we're going to be talking again about the upcoming full moon. Always remember to find your truest self, follow the moon. We look